Hi, and welcome to Paper Root Scrapbooking. I'm Nadine, and today I'm playing along with Ginger over on Ginger's Corner and some of her friends in a series called All About That Base, where we tackle our base pages. Welcome everyone. I'm so glad to have you here today. I am going to be working on this base page from that box that I showed you at the beginning of the series, where I went through and found a bunch of layouts that I had already chosen and matched with some photos that I had already printed in 4x6. The photos I'm working with today have already been cut down to size from the 4x6 format. I basically wanted to show the apples here and the jars in the cellar. The photo here didn't turn out all that great. It was dark down there, but that's okay. So those are my two photos. I wanted to show a little bit of what I did with this base page. So it's basically two sheets of cardstock. One is a craft cardstock and one is a white. And then I took the scraps left over from this collection that I had. I think it was like Harvest Market or Farmer's Market or something like that. And I think it was a Simple Stories collection. And I had a few leftovers, and they all seemed to carry this apple cider theme and some cinnamon sticks here. So I kind of went with that. And then there was one cut apart card here that I left the way it was. And then I had a punched piece here and a tag and then some scraps. I also punched this out of a small scrap, this little arrow piece. Here's a sticker from the sticker sheet down here. And then these hexagon pieces are actually, if you look closely, they're part of the branding strips left over from the collection, all lined up on a piece of cardstock and then glued down. And then I ran them through my Big Shot with this hexagon shape die. And I got some hexagons out of it to give it just a little bit of something different than just lining up those border strips. Okay, so that's where I got started with this one. And then I added on, so this one already has like embellishments and all kinds of things. I've preset my date stamp, I've printed my journaling. I want to add a little something to my title. And then I'm probably going to add some enamel dots, and then we will be done. So I don't think this will take me very long. I am probably also going to add on a few of these arrow pieces that I have sitting on my desk that I've been trying to use up with this series. So there's that. Okay, so let's get those photos on here. So I've noticed something as I've been working through this and the other series called 30 Days of Sketches, where I was trying to use quite a few of the 4x6 photos that I had pre-printed before I got my own photo printer. And something that I've been noticing is that although I had moved away from printing all the photos back when we switched from 35mm development and into digital photography, I was still printing quite a few photos that maybe didn't tell their own story necessarily. And then I noticed that as I print my own, I really go through and weed out a lot. So this is one of those where I'm like, would I have printed that if I had my own photo printer at home now? I'm not sure. So anyways, but I did find this interesting. This is from the Winchester Mystery House. And they had their own orchards and these big massive cellars. So this was a cellar as well. So my layout is going to be called Apple Cider and Things. So I'm just going to add, I got out these Doodlebug designs. What is this called? Alphabet Soup Puppy sticker. And it is tangerine is the color. So I'm going to put apple cider and things down here, because the way that I built the layout, it just said apple cider. We do drink apple cider. Is it something I photograph? Not really. It would have to be one of those things where I like intentionally take a photo to use the layout. But when I saw these photos, I was like, you know what? They could totally go on here, and I could just combine them to make them make sense. So basically, what my journaling is going to say is that the Mystery House, the mansion, had its own orchards and these massive cellars. So I can just imagine rows and rows of apple cider, fruit preserves, wines, jams, syrups, you know, all of those kinds of things. So that's basically what I imagined. Although when I went back and looked to see what kinds of like orchards they did have later on, I noticed that on the tour it looked like there were a lot of apples in the kitchens and stuff, but now that I look closer, I don't think they are. I think they're meant to be persimmons, maybe. I'm not sure, but pears, they had a lot of pears in their orchards, apricots, but I didn't see anything about apple trees. So I found it interesting that in a lot of the kitchens and stuff, they had baskets and baskets of apples. But I mean, it's Silicon Valley, right? So they probably can grow whatever they want because it's got good growing soil there or something. I don't know. They grow all the things down there. The Lush Gardens was kind of part of the beauty of the tour, actually. And I can't remember what the number was, but it was like over $1 million that she had spent back then. So we're talking like late 1800s, early 1900s maybe. And she had spent over $1 million on just the gardens alone. So pretty fascinating things. There we go. So that is the title. And I preset my date stamp. And I think I'm just going to stamp the date up here. And that didn't stamp very well, did it? That's okay. I'll fill it in later. And then I think I'm going to add one of these to each little spot where I have a bottle of cider. So there we go. And that's it for embellishment, I think, other than maybe a few enamel dots that I have kicking around. And then just my journaling. So I pre-printed my journaling and cut it into journaling strips. So I'm thinking it can go kind of along this side here. And I'm thinking like staggering it kind of to go that way to follow this diagonal line. So yeah, I just printed the journaling onto white cardstock, cut it into strips, inked the edges, and then ran it through the Xyron sticker maker to make it into adhesive strips or word strips, whatever you want to call that. And then I have a few left of these enamel dots that I think I'm gonna put on here because they match the same color, right? As that teal that's in this collection. I think that's a really fun ad that I've been seeing lately to fall collections, is this teal color. Very fun. Brightens things up quite a bit. Okay, so I think that's it for today. So that was a super quick and easy one, which is exactly what I needed today because I'm short on time. Okay, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. If you're here from Ginger's playlist or from her collaborative, or sorry, her YouTube Hop list, then thank you for taking the time to watch my video, and I would love to have you as a subscriber if you would like. So thank you again for everything, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.